Hello, welcome to Project Cars 2 with Mistex today. As you can see, we are in the Huracan GT3 Lamborghini at Bathurst Mount Panorama. Um, I was just kind of doing a setup type video today. This one is gonna be more of like what I would probably do in the longer race type simulation. So, I first ran it on the default. It was alright. I was having a real hard time getting very good lap times at all, really. I felt like the back end was a little too loose for me. Even with a lot of downforce, it was still too loose, so I decided to go change it here. Like I said, we're not in the actual TT, so grip levels are, I think, probably more of what you would see in a normal race, which is what I'm aiming for here, is for that type of thing, not the actual TT. So, we're just going to start on the first page here, and we'll go from there. I'm running hard slicks. I think that's most likely what I would do if I was doing, a 24-hour or something on here, where I'm not sure how many laps you would get before you'd have to change tires. From my testing here with the hards, it looks like, I've been going 6-7 laps, and tires seem to be pretty good. Grip levels are still decent. So, running hard slicks all around. Tire pressure, I've got it set to 21.76 all around as well. And, okay, so I did change that a little bit, I believe. Most of that is actually where it's at default, but because I had moved it up and down, but that's where I found myself. It keeps the tire PSI around 26 to the 27, sometimes 28, depending. After I drove it for a while, it was nearing 28, which wasn't too bad. Here, all this brake pressure is default. All these are default. I left these, didn't change any of them. You probably could maybe change the duct opening and get a little more speed, but I didn't mess around with it. Start changing that stuff when I'm really aiming for small increments of time for myself anyway. Downforce, I tried it a bunch of different ways. I went real low. Honestly, I think this one is one that you could change if, no matter what, basically, if you really wanted it. It got a little bit more loose as you went down, obviously, but I actually ran the better time with it at 8. I haven't tried any higher than 8. I think we might lose too much speed down the straightaway. I think I'm gonna say 5 to 8ish seems pretty good. Okay, so that's that page. So okay, we got this here. Got camber angle on the front at negative 3.5 degrees. Ride height is 65 millimeters. Spring rate is at 240 N/millimeters. The rear camber we set to negative 3.5 as well. Ride height is 70 millimeters on the rear. And 270 spring rate on the rear. So the front's a little bit softer than the rear, which it was actually, I think, 220 the front was before this, which for me anyway, it felt a little too oversteery, which is kind of strange for cars on here sometimes. So it actually felt a little too oversteery. I was losing the rear end a lot. So I decided we try to make up the rear grip by some mechanical grip anyway. And then, let's see here. For here, we've got rear toe angle I set to 1.2 degrees positive, and anti-roll bar to 30 N on the rear. Okay. Sorry, I was adjusting my mask there. Let's see here. And I think the front is all the same here. That was default. So that's that page. Dampers, I actually did not mess with any of the dampers. I a lot of times don't mess with this page until the very end. when I really tune the car a lot. I'll come here and start messing with this stuff. So I was running 35 liters, 11 laps. Like I said, I don't really know how many laps you would get around here, honestly. I mean, obviously, as I kept going, I was getting faster as my fuel was running lower. Oop, I didn't mean to do that. So I'm running 35 liters. I don't know if you're running a longer race. I don't know what kind of pitch you'd be doing there. Radiator opening I put to 60. That seemed to be alright. Engine braking I moved up to 2. Gearing is all the same, since the final drive is set to the most acceleration you can have it to. I actually wanted a little bit more, but I couldn't move it, so I didn't. I set traction control to 25% here in the ECU, which I think in this game, the traction control is backwards. I'm pretty sure, at least on this screen here, when you move it up, I believe it actually takes more traction control away. From the way the car feels when you change it that way, it certainly seems like that is the case. Higher values allow more slip and are good for high grip situations. Yeah, okay. So that seems to be the way they put it then. I changed the rear differential in this car. We've got the geared LSD on. I've got bias ratio power to 3.3 to 1. Bias ratio coast, I put at 1.8 to 1. Seems pretty good so far. I changed it a little bit. I personally like to run the geared LSDs in a lot of these cars in this game. I don't know, some of these other differentials may help quite a bit as well. I know the clutch LSD is on as well, which I'm not exactly sure how that works, if they actually both play together or not, but that's how I've got it set. So that's going to do it for my setup I am using on Bathurst in the Huracan GT3. We're going to do a few laps now. I'm at a standing start. Just going to do a few laps. You can see what the car looks like and drives like. Especially if you've driven this car before and maybe haven't set it up, you might see a bit of a difference. Doing a standing start. I think we'll probably do 3 or 4 laps. Usually by lap 4 or 5, 3, 4, 5, I'm usually going pretty well time-wise, so let's go do it, shall we? Car might be a little loud. I'm not going to talk too terribly much, I don't think, but I may a little bit. First lap's going to be a little slow, obviously, because we're at a standing start, so... An itch on my eye. Oh, right underneath my eyeball. Not bad for a standing start first lap. Ooh, I ditched my eye. Man, that part's fun. This track is so much fun in VR. Man. I ran a 208.1, I believe, once already. Got a potential of 207. Very loose, not real loose, but you can feel it. Hey, what? It was in the red. How's it my fastest? Whatever. I think you're lying to me, dude. Somebody's lying. I don't know who, but... Be able to run 209s pretty consistent with this setup. We're only slightly off. Tricky corner back there. Very tricky. I do like Bathurst though. It's a lot of fun. Running multiple laps of this setup just to kind of show the consistency of it. Hopefully my voice is coming through. If it's not, I'm sorry. It's pretty loud, I think. Ooh. Yep. A little loose and magoosey there. That was my fault. Got on the gas too early. Alright, we're gonna do one more lap. Was my last lap. 2:10.3. Oh man. Yeah, I'm getting a little tired. Oh, we're in the grass. check our tires. Everything looks pretty decent. Even with that little hiccup, it's still 210 anyway. This will be our last lap. Whoa. Okay. Force feedback just disappeared. Alright, we're gonna end it. Because my wheel just, something went weird just now where I lost my force feedback, so. Way too goofy to drive another lap. Okay. So, basically, I kind of just wanted to show, you know, kind of the lap times, the consistency of this. It seems to be very, very consistent. I went 6 laps there. Pretty sure you could go quite a few more laps on that set of tires. Need a little bit more fuel, but I think even with a little bit more fuel, you can still run fairly good lap times. I had a potential, my potential was like 207, high 207, so seems okay-ish anyway. All right. Well, that is going to do it for today's video of Project Cars 2 at Bathurst. I will see you guys next time. Hopefully you enjoyed. Peace out.